Hello, everybody, and welcome to the KubeStellar Community Meeting for Thursday, March 20th, 2025. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. If you are attending and you would like to take a look at this specific note, don't ask me to share it. Go up and get it yourself. Go to KubeStellar.io/join_us or join us as one word, and you will be able to get access to your very own digital copy of this artifact. Also, other notes about how to join us on Slack, as well as look at our documentation and some of our good first issues, which would be useful for you to help us out in the community. We'd love to have you as a contributor. We automatically add your avatar to the list of our contributors once your PR is approved and merged. Okay, this recording and all others that we create in our community wind up on our YouTube channel. Go to KubeStellar.io/TV to see more about this. If you have ideas for agenda topics, please go ahead and add them right to the end of the upcoming agenda that's listed here below. Okay, as proud members of the CNCF Sandbox project, we abide by a contributor code of conduct. What is that, you might ask? Well, that's this. I'll read it now. As contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community, and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting, feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We are committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, age, religion, or nationality. Basically, that means, everybody, is just please be nice to each other. General good rule of thumb, I think you might agree. Okay, if you're present on the meeting and you would like to be seen, turn on your camera. If not, leave it off. If you would like to talk, unmute yourself. If not, keep it muted. Please add your name to the attendee list if you'd be so kind. If you would like to add any information here, please go ahead and add it to the agenda as is listed. Okay. So with that, let's give you all a little bit something about what we're doing this week or these last 2 weeks and what's coming up ahead. So the KubeStellar UI, just a quick little update. We've got a new user interface dashboard available. The homepage you can go to, oh, I'm sorry. That is not supposed to be this. Okay, anyway. So we've got 6 interns plus a few other contributors, 2 or 3 other contributors that come and go, and they've been all diligent about contributing in different ways, shapes, and forms to the KubeStellar UI. The term is running from March to May. We will do it again in summer and fall. The UI, just as a quick aside, if you haven't seen it already, I'll sign out. Pretty cool stuff. So feel free to play around. This would be cool to have running in the background when we're at some of the trade shows that we attend at KubeCon and OSS and others. And we even have a nice login page here. Okay, and once you're signed in, you can view the clusters, import a cluster, an ITS cluster of your liking. Okay, generate the command that can be used to onboard an existing ITS cluster. We also have a tree view now with the ability to look at the different information about objects that are defined inside of KubeStellar and even create a workload directly from this so you can add it to the tree. You have the ability to manage policies, binding policies, so things like dragging and dropping a workload onto a given cluster are pretty cool. So this is a bit buggy, but it's coming along. Oh yeah, light and dark mode, we're working on it. Okay, and then your remote topology on your WEX. Right now, these are both in a work in progress. All of this is a work in progress. So if you'd like to join us to help us out, we'd really love to have you on board. That'll do it for that. Okay, so with that, we have 0.27 that was just recently released. So Mike, you want to give us an update on 0.27's full release?
Sure. So we've a couple of main developments. One is adding the ability, as discussed previously, to use any pre-existing cluster as an ITS. This is now both in kubeflex and in the KubeStellar home core helm chart. Also, we've been working on reliability of the demo environment creation script. We moved everything that we were pulling from DockerHub onto quay or GitHub, so we're no longer failing due to rate limiting. Let's see. And yes, it's more flexible. Used to be that the KubeStellar prereq checking insisted on exactly one version of kubeflex. Now we're able to recognize that we can accept a later version, so work with a range of versions. So yeah. All right, and the homepage was revamped also. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Okay, upgrade campaign. So there's some work involved in getting to Kube 1.3, but the work is, we're thinking about it and moving in that direction eventually. Braulio, you want to give us an update on long run and long run scale? Oh, is Braulio not on the call?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry.
Great.
Yes. So the PR for long run test instruction has been merged several weeks ago. So I'm not just working with Mike on PR 2666 about the infrastructure to conduct the large scale tests for KubeStellar, and Mike has me review it. So Mike, so I have others latest comments. So when you have the time, if you could just give another view. So I think the PR so looks like to be in good shape, and hopefully it will be merged soon.
Excellent, thank you. Franco, you want to give us an update on integration with Argo CD?
I can unmute. Yes. So we have a PR pending, finalizing the review for integrating Argo CD. This PR does a couple of things. Number one, allows a user of the core chart to install a instance of Argo CD in the hosting cluster if necessary. Additionally, the PR allows to automatically register all the control plane that KubeStellar deploys into Argo CD as target clusters. Finally, if as a useful feature, it's possible to use the core chart also to create some application for Argo CDs. So, for example, we can create application to replicate some of the examples and scenarios that we have in the documentation, so that a user bringing up the core chart can log in Argo CD and see the various scenarios as available to play with.
Cool, thank you, Franco. That's very valuable, thank you. All right. We've been doing some more scrubbing on the all-in-one demo environment, trying to make the installation more seamless and easier for our users. And I think we've made a lot of great strides there. So we've got some issues we've recognized on Ubuntu and WSL. Things like Helm failing to fetch a public chart. And we've identified the causes for that. So there are we're putting together basically a manifest of things that if you do run into issues that you can try in order to rectify the problem. And we've got PRs around this also for either more supportive documentation or updates to our prereq checking and so forth. So we've also got some inline help that occurs during the process of the check prereq. One of which has hit me a number of times is on these file watchers. And so I've asked for help in the community someone has been nice enough to come in and pick that and work that issue. So I'm working with that person also on creating a link that would go to our documentation. That also includes a link to Kind for those that are using Ubuntu, and for Rancher Desktop gives some recommendations on how to resolve that issue. Also, for any other container software, container or things that have Docker runtime in them or container runtimes in them, we'd also appreciate any more documentation around those if you see a need to fix those. So linking directly out of the prereq check or directly out of our installer back to our own documentation could be useful for us. So it's something to consider. Anybody have anything they want to add to the all-in-one demo environment for either Ubuntu or Kind? I saw Mike typing away at this.
Yeah, in recent experience of people, we identified a few weeks ago one cause, which is a broken Docker installation, Docker desktop installation. But we recently identified another cause that gives the same symptom, which is simply you've done a Docker login, but your login credentials have expired. So we should have, I think we do have a known issue page for this. We do have a collection of known issue pages. We should maintain those. I believe this second cause is not yet mentioned in that known issue page.
Hey, Mike, I had something interesting happen to me, but it was on OpenShift, so I think I'd just share it with you here. I was in the process of putting together an automated build system for some projects, and what had happened to me is I installed Podman inside of a container. Okay, and when I did that, I'd actually pulled in a Docker config.json prior to installing Podman. So that's the key here. I pulled in a Docker config.json and put it in the root Docker config .json location where it looks for those things, where Podman would look for it. I installed Podman, and what Podman does is it overwrites it. I had no idea this was happening. So something just to keep in mind is that the order of installation can sometimes, I've seen it cause problems here.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the general rule is simply that what's going on here with Helm failing to fetch our public chart is, it does use that Docker config file if it's there.
Yeah.
So if it's broken in any way, that'll foul you up. So I know, as we have a bit of a tension, we want to make things really simple and direct and concrete for the newest users. But what you're really hitting on here is we really kind of need to explain the mechanism to really be able to explain what's going wrong, or all the different ways it can go wrong, all the different root causes that can get to that symptom.
Yeah, so I think we're going to be touching on this in just a minute with KubeCon. As it relates, we interact and rely on other prerequisite software such as Helm, OCM, and Docker container runtimes like Rancher, Kind, etc. And so if we do find things like this that we feel that we can push back upstream, and I literally mean push back on the upstream community that maintains those, then I think we should. So we'll see something along those lines at KubeCon when we're at our Contrib Fest. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? Summarization work. So that's still in progress. I haven't seen anything come across my mailbox in recent weeks. All right. So multiple simultaneous KubeStellar systems. Can we remove this from the list now? We support this, correct?
No.
Oh, this is still not, I'm still confusing this with the other one that we just pulled into 27. All right, very good. It's still on the chopping block. All right, Google Summer of Code. We started to build that out a bit more. For those of you looking to contribute, the proposal contribution or the proposal segment of the Google Summer of Code starts on March 24th, which is in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It starts Monday. And at that point, you'll be able to review the Google Summer of Code project idea that we've submitted Braulio is going to be the primary mentor this year. I'm going to be a secondary for the most part. And Braulio is working on updating that project proposal, so that other folks can come along and say how they feel that their skill set will help them contribute to that project idea. We've got about 6 or 7 folks that are interested right now, and we'd like to have 1 or 2 people work with us over the summer, maybe as many as 3. Yeah, so that's where we are with Google Summer of Code. Anything you want to add to that, Braulio?
No, thank you. I think you covered everything well. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Braulio, would you do me a favor on this one? Would you add the links to the project idea here, and as at least for that as a starter, and then we can add more later on as we get closer to understanding what the application process looks like?
You mean the current description on the Google GitHub for Summer Code?
The mentoring site, GitHub, the one that you PR'd.
Okay, I see. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know that we have an actual project on Google Summer of Code's page yet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, if you can just put that there, that'd be great. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, so KubeCon. KubeCon is in, I think, starting, well, I'll be leaving in a week, so it'll be starting in about a week and a half. Paolo and Franco will be joining me on site there. Paolo, any new word on your waitlisted talks? Anything there? Okay, I don't think Paolo's on.
Sorry, I had to enable. No, I haven't heard anything. I suspect probably it may not happen, or even if it happens, it may be too late because
Okay.
I didn't have time to prepare.
Okay, very good. All right. Thank you. So, all right. So our lightning talk, it will be on Tuesday, April 1st, 12:06 British Standard Time at the Platinum Suite Level 3. Please come by and hang out and have a look. All the other folks that are in the Sandbox project, incubating and graduating, will be there as well, giving some talks about their projects and asking for either specifics or talking about what's next for them. Please join us there. We'll be previewing for the first time, or premiering, our newest commercial, which, thank you to Kevin, Franco, Braulio, and Mike, has been made possible. So stay tuned. If you do miss it, we'll have it on YouTube sometime later that day. But for now, that's be the first place you'll see it. All right, the Partner Pavilion on Wednesday, April 2nd at 10:45 to 1500 BST. We'll be at the Project Pavilion, level 1, hall entrance N8 to N9 in kiosk 2B. Please stop by if you want to see the new user interface and all that is the glory of how to use KubeStellar with a variety of different technologies. Okay. And the Contrib Fest will be on Thursday, April 3rd at 1600 British Standard Time, level 3 ICC Capital Suite 1. So during that time, we'll be talking, Paolo, Franco, and myself will talk about what it is like to use KubeStellar and how you can learn how to contribute to our project. We're looking for contributors, and we have a variety of different areas where you can make a contribution. Franco will be talking specifically about Helm and the challenges we've had with Helm, using it in a multi-cluster configuration for installation of different components. And Paolo will be talking about kubeflex and the built-for-purpose control plane project that he's been working on, and it's the core underpinnings of KubeStellar itself. I will be talking about the basics of the KubeStellar installer and how we have evolved the KubeStellar UI entirely from the open source community. And so we'd love to see you get more involved. If you can stop by and listen or talk to us after the talk, we'd love to talk to you more about how you might either contribute or help us create new opportunities in the KubeStellar universe. Okay. Cornell's SDF program. We've been focusing on enclave and confidential computing. I think there's a couple of possible outcomes from this interaction, this work group, of which have been some top tier conferences other than KubeCon that we may present this information and ideas to. The good news is the team has gotten this working, and so it continues to refine the process and understand better how they can use this to obfuscate or mask off specific information about individual farm owners and there's proprietary usage of technology, so that industry analysts and industry experts don't get a hold of that specific information and use it for their own good, so that there's not, this capitulation. So there's some very interesting information and transactions taking place there. We're starting to learn how KubeStellar can be used to not only enable folks at the edge, but also to enable them to do secure computing at the edge. All right, so with that about concludes today's call. That's the updates on KubeStellar. We're at the 0.27.0 release. We've got a new homepage at KubeStellar.io. We've got the ability to use a pre-existing cluster as an ITS. That was the change that I keep conflating with the multiple KS. The min-and-max release of kubeflex, so we have some more flexibility with kubeflex, and we've removed the dependence on DockerHub solely. We now use quay and GCR.io images and containers so that we don't get rate limited by the number of people that are installing our project. Okay, is anybody online that would like to add anything more to the agenda or has comments or questions? Okay, everybody, thanks for joining. I will be reporting, I think, from the show floor next week. So, or not next week, the week after on our next call. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Maybe give you a sneak peek as to what's going on there, or at least share with you what's transpired so far. I look forward to talking to you all again next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.